A lesson plan featuring the Bible is on the table for elementary classes here in Texas. Tomorrow, the state school board will be voting on whether or not to move forward with the controversial curriculum. We're talking about the Blue Bonnet curriculum. Several of its lessons incorporate well-known Bible studies like the story of the prodigal son and the Good Samaritan. Some lessons on classical art note how stories from Genesis were used by painters. And there's a study section on poetry mentioning the book of Psalms. A final vote Friday. If approved, the curriculum is not a mandate. It's up to local school districts to use it, and it will be available by August. Now, tonight we ask, should scriptures be taught in schools? Tonight, joining us on The Factor Uncensored, we have teacher Victor Rios and educational consultant Shanidra Wagner. Glad to have you both here on The Factor Uncensored. So your thoughts about this, Shanidra?
Well, we live in a democracy, not a theocracy, and this country was established for people to exercise their religious freedom. Teaching a curriculum that focuses on Christianity and mentions the other religions as an afterthought is not my example of freedom. I think as an option for a club, perhaps, or as an elective, people should have the option to study the Bible or pray or whatever, but to make it like a mandate, I think is highly unacceptable. It ignores the Jewish students, the Muslim students, and even the atheists and the other Hindi students, etc.
Okay, and Victor, your thoughts on this?
Well, one, I think it is optional, right? Each school district is going to be able to use it to their advantage or not, because it also comes with an incentive. It comes with a $40 incentive per student. So sometimes you have to follow the money. A lot of school districts are going to take it because they feel like they need the money, right? And it's an option, of course. You don't have to take it.
But when the school district decides, what do the students do who may have different beliefs and they don't want to participate in that? Particularly in my family, lots of Jehovah's Witnesses, and religion wasn't to be taught at school, no standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance. So what do you do with those kids? Do they get a 0 or an F or a U in that class?
I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis, right? But I don't think any teacher in Texas is going to hold a student accountable for something that is optional, right? I'm not going to fail you because you don't want to believe what I believe.
So this is not a separate religious class. These are Bible stories that will be interwoven throughout the reading language arts curriculum. So if the district opts in, a teacher can't give students options. If the district adopts it, you have to teach it, okay? And so that is why I'm against it. I don't think that it's fair for the school. They're going to school, not Sunday school, but to learn academics. And I think the real issue is that some of our schools are out of control with discipline. We get it. We want to have a moral, compass, and we want them to have a chance to center themselves and meditate. Why not let students take 20 minutes to go read the Quran or read the Torah or do whatever, take yoga? Why force them to take it in a classroom setting while ignoring, not giving equal exposure to all religions? That's just not. And the other thing is this. No matter what book you put in front of a child, there's such a thing called theory versus practice. We're reading the Bible in theory, but there's the God is in us when we're going to these school buildings. So the leadership, whether you're leading a school, university, city, state, or the nation, if your behavior and comportment does not align with the teachings in the Bible, our students are going to notice that, and we're going to send them mixed messages.
And for those who say we have taken God out of so much in this country, what do you say to those people who say maybe God will help with these school shootings if kids are more religious? It will help with the violence on campus. Devil's advocate here. Okay. So as I talk about God, devil's advocate.
And I do believe in studying comparative religion. Trust me, I'm Christian. My father was Muslim. I love all religions. I love all good people. But in terms of teaching it in school, it's really about the expectations and the behavior. Like it makes no difference if a teacher teaches you a biblical story and then when someone's bullying you, she's ignoring you. We have to walk the talk. So what I'm saying is that although it's a good idea for clubs and as options, we still have to put that step into practice, the bullying, the name calling, all the things we see from the national stage, right? The person in the highest position in this country is not leading by example. So teachers have to lead by example.
And
no
so
matter
I
what
ask,
they teach.
Go ahead, Victor.
Well, I think part of it is it's already interwoven into our government and in Texas culture, right? Christianity. Everyone remembers the Alamo, right?
So is Islam. Islam is here too.
San Antonio was a mission, right? And they were defending it. That's how it spread. I understand that we teach everyone. When we teach people, we also tell them, this is America. You're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. Right? You're not forcing anyone to convert religions. They're just teaching it in the way that it uses the Bible in some situations, right, which is a historical sacred writing, right? I think we can all agree with that. And I think most people, the reason it's going to pass is because people agree with the 10 Commandments. People agree with thou shalt not kill, right? Thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father, right? That's why it's going to pass, was most people agree with it.
And really quick, Victor, devil's advocate here, is it's all about conservative politics.
I think that's part of the problem. I think you're making it politicized on either way, right? I think it should be a choice that you shouldn't be forced, no one should be force-fed religion. But in that same token, it is interwoven into our government already.
Which party is pushing it, though? Mm-hmm. That's the point you're making,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The Republican Party is pushing this.
And do you see many parents, if they're given the option to opt out of this, when they say, we're going to teach your child based on this Christian rule, this Christian principle, do you see many parents saying, look, that's not for my kid?
Yes, because some parents are not comfortable with other people teaching their children religion. That's why they go to church on Sunday. They have a youth pastor, they have a main pastor. They don't want the teacher doing that. Then interpretation. Ultimately, a school culture needs to have a set of core values that are going to align with the Quran and the Torah too. They teach about goodness as well. Why not have a core set of values that align with all those books and teach by practice, by modeling how to treat human beings? That's what our schools are needing. We need a culture shift, from the teachers, the bullying, all those things they're running rampant. And again, after November 5th, we sent a very clear message. We have double standards. We do not walk the talk. We have theory. But in practice, you turn on the news, you see your presidential candidate simulating fellatio and hand jobs. But you're trying to tell that same party saying, go read a Bible.
All right. Out of time, but we get your point.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. We get it. Still ahead tonight.